Atlantica Apartments. Opposite a core tourist and resort center. It is an apartment for the rich and those that want to be rich. Do you know you can buy the future if you know where to shop? Do you know that Dangote Refinery will be opened by December with about 70,000 workers and 2,000 engineers? Atlantica Apartments is at the heart of it all, just directly beside the zone. It is a 2-bedroom apartment with infrastructure. When you buy Atlantica Apartments, you have bought the future.
This is WCC.
Thompson King is a serial entrepreneur, security expert, business consultant, and motivational speaker. He studied agriculture in the University of Calabar. He is the president of the Ubong Foundation, a non-profit, non-governmental organization targeted at training young people towards leadership. He is the former chairman of the American Society of Industrial Security International, ASIS, and the founder of Protection Plus Services Limited. His foundation has also raised an army of youth with strong leadership skills for the challenges of tomorrow. In 2018, the Ubong Foundation convened the maiden edition of Thinkation, a platform to encourage productivity among the youth demography in Nigeria. He also facilitates and speaks at leadership and management retreats within and outside Nigeria.
How are you doing, guys? And I want to say good evening to everybody. Am I good to go? I need somebody to just tell me yes, I'm good to go, and then let's hit it hard. Okay, fine. I believe that I should do this, and everyone doing today? Very good. So we're good to go. So I might as well I would love to share my screen briefly. I hope you are all ready for the experience because I'm so pumped up and so excited to be here. And if Tade Cash is somebody you respect and you think that is a gift to this world, please can you just type Tade? Tade. I just want somebody to just appreciate this gentleman. Just type Tade. Just type Tade. Let us show him some love. Let's show him some love because it's important that we celebrate this man. I think he's a phenomenal gentleman, and I am excited to be on this boat even as we speak. So, who is saying Tade? Please, I need someone to write Tade. Okay, very good. Thank you very much. Good to go. Okay, very good. So I'll share my screen and hopefully we will have people see this. Just let me know if you can see my screen. Let me know if you can see my screen. And please, for support, please can I have the link to this screen on my subtle device so I can see what I look like online. But let me go ahead, while I'm still getting the link to the screen sent to me via WhatsApp. Very good. Okay, very good. I'm getting it. Fantastic. Yes. I want to see. Are we live here? Okay, no, I need to see the live link. Okay, I will just trust that I have eyes somewhere. Whatever link is going on, I need to see. I need eyes there. Please send me the Facebook link that I can see that page. Let me have it as well. But everybody's happy. Let's move forward. Thank you, Tade, for making me say this. I respect time. And honestly, I'm going to be pumping you quickly. And that's what we're going to do. And I'll start by saying, whenever I see the glory on anybody's life, it is always good to ask the story. Tade is a phenomenal gentleman, and he made his first million at a young age of 28. And honestly, I was shocked when I heard about it because some of us were not privileged like that. So based on that, I need Tade to even come and coach people like me and on how they did this kind of thing. It is so interesting, so interesting that he's done this. Now, I have deliberately shown you my CV. I was born in 1972, and I'm the first of 9 children from Akwa Ibom State, proudly Akwa Ibomite. And I went to Federal Government College, Janaki, Lagos. Normal life, you know. And when my father died, I found out that my father had a second wife. So there were two wives, and everybody was like a competition. It was the fight was out of this world, and I couldn't believe it. Now, that affected a lot of things in it. I've spent over 26 years in security, and I've grown from one level to the other up to a very appreciable level. So please, I know there's a Facebook group. If I can get the link of that Facebook group, I'll be very happy. So this is my life. I've grown in security, oil and gas, financial security, and in telecom security. A lot of people do not know that, you know, at the age of 39, my father died when I was just 13 years old. And interesting to note, I was just 13 and things were not, you know, very easy anymore. So we were living in a 3-bedroom flat, and then it came down to a face me, I slap you house. My mom went one side, my stepmom went one side, and they took all our children. It was not funny. You know, I did not do well in English in secondary school, so it affected me going to university. So that affected me, and, you know, understanding about cash began to reduce. I was disowned at the age of 19 by my mom, and I was thrown out from my cousin's house, and things went from all ends. I was just going negative. I thought I was the problem to the whole world, you know. I ended up going to University of Calabar, staying there. I came out with a 3rd class extra year, and NYSC did not post me. And the reason I had a 3rd class was that I had to go and work in Lagos for 3 months. On the 4th month, come back here. Now, my father was God to me. I always wanted to be like him. I wanted to grow as, you know, to be like this dynamic gentleman. But this man never taught. He taught me nothing about life, nothing about family issues, nothing about the bullies in school. He taught me nothing about life. He taught me nothing about life. It was so terrible that you see, when fathers and mothers don't talk to their children become irresponsible the next day. And that alone, you know, help does not allow the children to understand that this is the necessity of what it takes to get to the next level. I, for example, you know, I had to tell people that this is what it costs for me to become what I am today. And this is so important for us to know now, whether we like it or not. It is very important. Now, for me, I say this to people: start talking to your children, start talking to your junior ones, because all of us say there's a witch in our family. There's no witch in your family. When people give you free food for breakfast, lunch, or dinner, they stop you from thinking. Our problem is not our location. Our problem is our thinking. They say there's a witch in our family. Your father and mother, they gave you free food. They are the ones that stop you from productivity. They are the ones that stop you from going far. So after a while now, you now find out that you'll be discussing politics, discussing government, discussing that they are not feeding you. It can be so depressing. Now, so let's go to the next level if you are there with me. Now, all of us have been through the university system. And typically in the university system, one of the things that we see is that we see that we write exams, and those exams we say maybe like Faculty of Law, Department of Public International and International Law, course title LC1201. Now, duration is 45 minutes. Now, you will see in that document that it says that, you know, out of a total of 5 questions must be properly answered out of 8. You know, answer question 1 with supporting proof and documents. And guess what? That one carries 40 marks and the others carry 20 marks. So a gentleman wrote that exam and he got an F. So he was so angry. And then he petitioned the lecturer, petitioned the department, petitioned every single thing in that family. It was so bad. So what did they do now? The lecturer called the VC, asked Senate to investigate, and they investigated. They saw the guy got 1. He got question 2, question 3, question 4, question 5, question 6. He even did question 7, question 8. He got every single thing, but he did not answer question 1. Now, if you go back to the slide before, where it says that a total of 5 questions must be properly answered out of 8. It's giving supportive proof, cases, and diagram. Question 1 carries 40 marks. He did not answer question 1. He answered 4 other questions. So the highest he got was 20 marks. And that is why it says that your ignorance instruction does not exonerate you from the problem. A lot of us do not understand what are the laws of success. What are the laws that make us win in this life. It is a problem for us. If you don't think about where you are going to and then understand what are the instructions, you will suffer in future. Now, these are my university days, and I tell people that, look, I found purpose. My purpose was security. I did not come out like this. I learned to be like this. So the question I'll ask is, what have you learned in life? It is important that you are able to learn. It's important that you're able to say something. I remember in secondary school, they told me to label a cockroach. I don't know how many of you labeled the cockroach. If they told you to label a cockroach in secondary school, please type cockroach. And this one was 30 marks. Unfortunately, I couldn't get the answer. I couldn't get all. For some reason, I can't remember all the parts of the head, the compound eye, the antenna. I can't remember. Some of you labeled cockroach as well. So now, guess what? I failed this particular exam, and I tell people, who has a cockroach help? They have told us a lot of things that that biology, chemistry, physics. My brother, physics, chemistry, biology is not working anymore. Poor education breeds a poor generation. Poor education breeds a poor generation. How come they were teaching me about sociology? How come they are teaching me about philosophy? Why did they avoid the course called numismatology? Numismatology was not taught in school. Numismatology is the study and the collection of money. How come this was not in our syllabus? Because if we had understood this, we would have known the value of even that 1 kobo that we hold in school. Because the longer we understand it, the better. Guess what? There are some coins now that have lived over years now. The value of 1 coin, these are the top 10 coins now. The one that is called the Liberty Head Nickel, 1913, the value is used in a Y50. The value of that coin now is valued at $3.7 million. $3.7 million. Multiply that by 450 naira per dollar. Now, but the most expensive coin, one coin is called the flowing hair silver copper dollar. It was in 1794. The value of that coin is $10 million now. 1 coin, only 1 coin, because they studied and they understand numismatology. It is important that we begin to understand it. Our population is said to be over 180 million and counting, according to the census of Wikipedia. This was in 2006. Over 250 ethnic groups, 500 languages. Christians and Muslims are 45%. 10% are artificial tradition. Only 15 million people are working with a dependency ratio of 3 to 1. That means for everybody that is working, all of you that are on this call now, those of you that are working, those of you that are in business, you have at least 3 people that are depending on you, whether your brother of their school fees or they are feeding them. Now, Nigeria's report, Presidential Committee on Job Creation, states that 75% of our country made up of youth under 45, 40% cannot be employed. That means 62.5 million youth cannot be employed. It is important that you begin to hear this. I want to be your teacher. I want to show you how to get to the next level. In 1960, and I'm using it as a foundation, the UK that colonized us were 52 million. Nigeria was 46 million in 1960. By 2015, the population of the UK only rose to 62 million. Nigeria is 185 million, meaning that we grew by 129 million in 55 years. And I was looking at it. They said that in the year 2050, the population of Nigeria will increase to 350 million. I was shocked. I was arguing this. I was asking, why would Nigeria increase that much? Is it that they are saying that we will, for every buy one get 4 free? Guess what? the size of the earth as of the earth will remain the same size. Now, but the population of the world will increase. What does that mean? He said that in 2018, the number of children that were born in Nigeria on January 1st, according to Vanguard, was 20,210. Children were born in 1 day, in 1 day, in 1 day. So that means in 1 year, in 2018, the number of children that were added to our population was 7,306,650 children were added to our population. It was so crazy. Now, I thought that was a fluke, but by 2019, the population of the number of children that were born in 1 day were 25,685 children in 1 day. 1 day. This does not include children in churches. This does not include children in houses. These are the children that are registered in church, in hospital. So 9,375,025 children were added to our population. So if we do 2018 and 2019, the number of children is 16,671,675 children were added to our population. Now, this is crazy. This is really, but there is something you need to think about, which is important, because I was waiting for 2020. I waited for this day. In 2020, it was said that Nigeria had 26,039 children. 26,039 children were born on January 1st. Now, so this is something you need to understand. The second country is Pakistan, 16,000. So between the first country in the world and the second country is 10,000 children. Now, Indonesia is 13,020. The US is 10,452. Now, Mark Fred is saying, see statistics. Let me tell you something. If you cannot count, you cannot be rich. It is important that you are able to understand. So we are expecting 9.5 million children. Guess what? 2021, when COVID-19, the number of children that will be born post-COVID, God help us. Please, it is important you know this number, because the size of the earth has not increased, but population is exploding. In 1804, there were 1 billion people. In 1927, 123 years later, there were 2 billion people. Now, in 1960, 33 years later, there were 3 billion people. So in 33 years, we increased the world population by 1 billion. 1 billion, 1 billion. By the time we were entering 1987, 13 years later, we're 5 billion. 1999, 12 years later, we're 6 billion. Now, it was announced, I remember that announcement when they said that we were 7 billion in this world. It was so serious. It really took me apart. So I decided to check. Now, these people that we are all giving birth to, like Richard Carr, where will they stay? They need to live somewhere, and that is important. The available land in the world, the whole world which we see, 71% is water, 29% is land. Okay, out of that 29%, 71 is habitable, 29 cannot be habited. So when you look at this, the thing that is happening is that as population explosion is going on, people have to live somewhere. It is reported that we're having over 201 million population in Nigeria. That means there is opportunity in the real estate sector, and that one you cannot fail. That's why I came to talk to you. You need to understand about cash flow. This was the picture of me when I got married. I didn't look like anything. My wife was the gift of God to me. She was such a gift. And when I was marrying her, I didn't know that, look, more cash was important. Some of us that are on this call are guilty because we just get into marriage, we don't plan, we say by faith. Men, work that faith out. Now, I later found out that when my daughter first came out, now I had to pay bills. Bills are important. Bills keep growing. And then in quick succession, I found out that, look, I had 3 children, Jamon, Adora, Jamon, and Atara. And at this time, bills were piling up on my head. What do? I needed cash. I needed to be able to take care of my family. If I am talking to you and you are understanding this, please type cash flow. Please type cash flow. Please type cash flow. Type cash flow. I need to see somebody's talking, because at this point in time, hunger began to set in. Hunger is the gift of God to man. Hunger is the gift of God to man. I decided that it is important that I must multiply my cash. I must find a way. Now, at 2009, I decided to resign from my former company. No HMO for my family. The BMW that I used to drive began to drive me. My landlord had directed that they should chase me out of the house. And I even lost a baby at that time. I was owing two banks at that point in time. A bank and a what they call it, the microfinance bank, money. I did not understand cash flow. The fact that you are earning salary does not mean you understand cash flow. And guess what? One serious thing that will happen in life is that your education will begin when you leave school, not when you are in school. Your education will begin when you leave school, not when you are in school. They're only preparing you for the work outside. So I stumbled on this man called Robert Kiyosaki. Robert Kiyosaki began to arrange my brain, and he taught me that there were 4 ways to make money. One, as an employee, that means I will go to work and leverage my time, all my time, and then at the end they will pay me money. Or I can become self-employed, whereby I'm able to make money because I'm a hairstylist or something like this. I decided to find out, look, it's possible that this, and I found out that I only make 5% of the money, 5%, and all these people that are employees, everybody that is self-employed, are all in the poor side. If you want to be rich, you need to think, how do you multiply your money? How do you become a business owner, or how do you become an investor? This particular meeting are for people who believe that they should start multiplying the revenue in their house. It is important that you understand that. How do you multiply the money in your house? And I'll take it deep now, because this is why here, everybody that is on this call, I know that you're a successful person because you were bold enough to say, I want to understand cash flow. How does a poor man think? A poor man just earns salary and it goes into his rent, it goes into food, it goes into the nothing. Now, a middle class man gets money and he takes a car loan, takes a mortgage, all that one are going to expenses and they are out. They have no asset. But the rich man, what he does is that any money he gets, he invests it in whatever asset he can do, whether in property or in products, but yet makes more money. So that money begins to go around up and down. So there's a difference between the way they treat money to get it down, because the poor man does make salary and spends it. The middle class takes a loan, so the bank makes money off him or whichever. But when you want to think rich are the people about it. There are 4 very important words that you need to know. Number 1 is income. Income is all the money coming in. Expenditure, money you pay out. Then asset, what is it that pays you money? And liability, what costs you? Understanding of this formula is what changes everything in your life. Now, I have shown a rich man's statement and a poor man's statement. A poor man will increase his liability, no asset. Liability, no asset. So when he increases his liability, what happens is expenses increases, and then that is what he's waiting for: salary, waiting for IOU, waiting for that. But a rich man will increase his asset, will build on his asset. His asset will generate income for him and will deal with his expenses. Guess what? If your income is more than your expenditure, if your income is more than your expenditure, please pardon me, it is supposed to be, if it's not more than your expenditure, then you are poor. But if your income is more than your expenditure, then you are rich. Please, the first line is saying, if your income is not more than your expenditure, then you are poor. But if your income is more than your expenditure, then you are rich. So the secret of the rich is to build assets, whether poor, whether products or services. That is what the rich does. The rich finds out, how do I build assets? How do I make it? How do I pump the money that I have, no matter how small, for it to grow, for it to generate? I got to that point because I had children, and I put a target on myself: 100 million naira in 1 year. And I put this: once somebody does that, you are able to go far. I want to show you an example of somebody here. His name is Mohammed bin Rashid Al Maktoum. He took 4 of his friends to the desert, no land, no water. What did they do? They said, what can you do here? He said, this place is useless, there's nothing you can do here. He said, I can turn this place to national treasure. So he began to advertise sand. He began to advertise sand. sand, 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 sand. He began to advertise sand, sand. And guess what? Now the budget of Edo and Delta State in Nigeria 2019 was 584 billion naira. 584 billion. Now the whole Bendel state, and I'm interested in putting it like that because these two states were together. And guess what happened? The Dubai advertised sand. They advertised their land to the world. In that same 2019, it was said that 14.9 million people, went to see the desert in Dubai. They flew in because they don't have trees in that place. Went to see, they advertised sand, and guess what? They paid $140 per person. That is the equivalent of 803 billion. What two states need to get from federal government, this little state was generating from their immigration alone. I am saying this because they use their land, they use it, they advertise it to the whole world, not to talk of the accommodation. My brother and I were in Dubai. We said, let us go and see the desert. We drove 3 hours, no house, no fancy, no nothing. They advertised sand, this same sand that we're talking about. So we saw that there were 6 of us in the car. By the time we got to that place, to the desert, we saw that there were 100 cars. So 6 times 100 is 600 people. Now each person paying 175 dirhams, $50 equivalent. So 10,000. I now looked at it. So 600 of us, in the morning, 600 at night. That means in a year, that company is making $10.95 million just to show people sand. 4.927,500 showing people sand. Now, they don't have trees there. They don't have anything there. And guess what they did? They decided to build an island called Palm Jumeirah. They only put sand and stone, land, sand and stone, and they were advertising to the world. A plot of land in Palm Jumeirah is $15 million, equivalent of 6.755 billion naira. One plot of land on that sand. The man woke up one day. He said, look, let us change the blood in this system. Let us start thinking. This was in 2017. What did he do? He appointed my friend Oman bin Sultan Al Olama, 27-year-old boy, and gave him a mandate that we have to start building houses in planet Mars by the year 2117. They were not thinking of Christmas, which is in 2 months' time. They were thinking of 10 years, 100 years. Stop thinking about Christmas rice that you are going to eat. Stop thinking about, Christmas party you are going for. Start thinking 5 years. Start thinking 10 years. Start thinking 20 years. Start thinking 50 years. Start thinking for your children, your grandchildren, even now. I don't care where you are. Start thinking tomorrow. Start thinking far, because this is how people think. They were thinking about cash. They were thinking, how do they generate cash? That's how they started building a city. US is building a science city called Mars 2017. In 100 years, they're planning that they will have a city in planet Mars. They built it. Go online. You will see that they're already talking, they're already planning, they're already working. They have created money aside for that. Now, this is not only them. Look at Hurricane Sandy, destroyed Long Beach in New York. Sand. So what did they do? They cleared that whole beachfront, and then they now made it as a beautiful asset where they can look at. The people that go there, they pay $15. Now, if you carry a tent, you will also buy it for you also rent it for $15. So the day I went there, there were like 5,000 people in the beach. Say that 3,000 people entered into the beach, and they paid what they call it now, $15. 2,000 people got the tent. So that is how many transactions now? 5,000 transactions. So in a day, that beach made $75,000, equivalent of 27,375,000 naira in a day. What are they doing there? Just water and sand. It is important. Patricia, you need to do 5 years, 10 years, and a 50-year plan. It's important. I went to Aba. I went to Owerri. Aba. So on the way, I was looking at the way people were thinking. That people, there are opportunities everywhere. Cash flow. This is lemonade. I took lemonade You can see me here taking lemonade. I ask myself, what is lemonade? Lemonade is lemon plus sugar plus water. It is 1,825. If 1,000 people buy the lemonade that day, that is in one day, the guy will make 1.825 million naira. Now, let's say that it was doing it for 3 months, equivalent of 164,250,000 naira. Do you need a degree to sell lemon, ice, and sugar? You don't need a degree. Stop getting excited about your certificate. Your education has started now. Tade is making this available for you. So what happened to me? I changed my mentality. The difference between an eagle and a vulture is their appetite. I stopped eating dead food. I wanted more. I was in Kenya with my wife and my children, and they said, let us go and see elephant. We went there. I started looking. Elephant, we waited outside, and we were only to see it for 1 hour. In seeing that thing for 1 hour, guess what? We all paid 500 Kenyan shillings, equivalent of 2,500 naira. Now, when we now entered, I now looked around. You can see the picture ahead. You will see people there. We were like 1,000 looking at the elephant. The elephants were orphans, no father, no mother. All of us were touching it, whiskey, touching it like this. They were feeding it milk. This was inside the bush. They did not build house in Lekki Peninsula. They did not build in Banana Island. What they did is that they used the advantage of the land. They were able to carve out and create a place where people can come and see elephant. These elephants were in their bush. We just came to see orphan elephant. That means an elephant made 2.5 million naira that day. How much have you made today? How much are you made today? Some of us are at home, in our offices, and before you know what will happen, the whole we're waiting for salary. If your dependency is on salary, man, you are suffering from a vulture mentality. That is why I told Tade I want to be in this place and I want to radically affect somebody who wants his or her mind changed. Stop the vulture mentality. Start thinking like an eagle. Go and learn to hunt yourself. I need somebody who will tell me that I want to hunt. Now, please, if you are that, please type hunter. That yes, you are ready to hunt. You are ready to hunt. Who is that hunter I'm talking about? An eagle has the ability to live for 70 years, but it will first stay for 40 years. Then after that, it has a mental shift it will do. This class is to change the way you think about money, change the way you think about yourself, change the way you think about your future, change the way you think about your children, change the way you think about your wife and your husband. How many of you are ready to hunt? I want somebody to hunt today. So this elephant will take 150 days to change the beak, to change the strategy, to change the plan, to change even his hunt, and then go out and hunt. Now, I started my own from my bedroom. I started my business from my bedroom. My phone was my marketing tool. So you don't even need a good place. You just need a phone. And I had 2,500 contacts, 50 responses. I was sending them bulk SMS, sending them messages and everything. Only 50 people answered me. I got 4 contracts in 3 months. I was ready. I was ready to go. So I now began to check online what opportunities are there online that I can use. So I saw that I could be able to join the maritime community. And I saw that there was activity there, and I followed that activity. It made me to understand G4S and control this group. They were dealing in the maritime space I was dealing with. I was ready. So I read everything. That they were doing. I read their annual report. The annual report says in 2011 they had 7.4 billion pounds, equivalent of 2.59 trillion naira. Man, I held my head. I said, whatever these people are doing, I want to do the same. I said, let's go. And I said, let's make it happen. Let's make it happen. I copied everything that they did. So that became my law. Copy until you become. You don't need to reinvent the wheel or bring a bogus idea. Who has a good idea? If there is a good idea, you should just cue it into that idea. If you see somebody that has plan, somebody that's giving you structure, somebody that can make it happen for you, man, don't even think of running it. Go into it, enter it, and then start making money. How many of you want to start making cash immediately? Let me hear you say yes, yes, yes. You are that person. I need to see where my hunters here. Cash flow is important. Cash flow is important. In 2009 and 2010, this was what I was renting. I was renting that boat on top for 150,000. $150, you know, 150,000 naira per day. But by the time my mind had changed, by in the end of 1 year, I started renting this boat of almost 3 to 4 million a day, because I understood how to do it. When you understand how it works, you see, it is not the money you have, it is the plan that you have. 4 years down the line, I bought this boat cash without going to bank, because I understood cash flow. I could have bought a house in Banana Island, bought a house in London. No. I decided to buy a boat like this, so that I could be making money every single day from this boat. And till today, I have boats and they are making money for me. And I know that there are opportunities here. I began to say, look, why am I not doing things like this in the real estate sector? Now, let me tell you what my godfather said, Mohammed bin Rashid Al Maktoum. He says, in Africa, when a gazelle wakes up, it has to run faster than the fastest lion, otherwise it will be eaten. He says also, in that same Africa, when a lion wakes up, it has to run faster than the slowest gazelle, otherwise it will not eat lunch. The moral of the story is, whether you are a lion or whether you are a gazelle, when you wake up, start running. How many of you are ready to run into cash now? How many of you are ready to move into that destiny right now? My mentor says that his name is Robert Kiyosaki. He says the poor and the middle class work for money. The rich have money work for them. And I want to share something, because I'm closing now because of time. So what do the rich do? The rich get money, whatever money they have, and they begin to invest it. And they're going to find out what is the best law. There's a law called the law of compounding your cash. It's also called rollover. The law of compounding your cash is also called rollover. Now, if they invest, so listen to this formula. They invest 50% of whatever money comes, in building assets. Then they live on 30%. But what they do is that they invest 50%. Take, for example, that your salary is 100,000 naira. You invest 50,000 naira. You can give people the remaining 20,000, or don't give anybody. Trust me, if you invest in a project I'll tell you about, now in 1 year you have invested 600,000 naira. Your interest would have been 750,000. In the next year, if you roll over this money and keep investing 50,000 naira, you will be making 1.687 million. Now, in the third year, if you roll over this money, you have 2.859 million. By the fourth year, you'll be having 4.8. All I'm asking you is $50,000. Now, what kind of platform am I talking about? Now, Tade Cash is such a genius, and I did not waste time. When I heard about this platform called minidealinvestment.com, I decided to sign up immediately. If you see that link up there called minidealinvestment.com, I would advise you now, copy that link right now and then use it. That link, copy it and then build on it. Once you click it, you can actually invest 50,000, 100,000, 150,000, 200,000 or 500,000. You can do it for yourself and watch your money grow. Watch your money grow. I want to give you 20 seconds to copy that link at www.minidealsinvestment.com, and I hope that will help you do that for yourself. I want to say thank you. God bless you. Do have a fantastic time. My name is Ubong, and I will take your question.
All right, Mr. Ubong. Don't go yet, my God. Don't go yet. we are so happy to have you. Everything is boiling, like it's so boiling. I mean, my note is full. You put me in the class again. The boss is the boss all the time. I'm so happy. Thank you so much. Thank you very much. Sand can produce cash flow. Water can produce cash flow. There's cash flow everywhere. It's amazing. It's amazing what can happen to people. We see a few minutes, and it's going to be for Q&A, about 5 minutes. So in case you are there and you have a question for the boss, please, can you just type your question with a Q and hyphen, and post your question after the word. What question do you have for him? What question? What do you want to know? What question do you have? What confusion are you going through? I'm going to pick some of the questions and then we answer it. So just ask a question now and we can do that. But before they ask a question, let me ask you one question, sir. Now, if you have to start all over again, how will you go about investing?
To unmute myself. First of all, thank you for the opportunity to speak. If I had an opportunity again, right from when I was, you see, I've worked for almost 20 years of my life. If somebody had told me that 50K could change my life, 50K could change my life, I would just invest 50K every month. My brother, if you don't have any job, you don't have money, will you die? You will not die. But if you invest it, that money will multiply. So the more money I should have done it, because otherwise, any money you don't invest, you will spend. Any money you don't invest, you will spend. I see Olani Bekun saying that, how can I convert my passion into cash flow? You must study the money of your passion. Where is the money of your passion? Where can you follow it? Every passion you have can be monetized if you only study who is doing it, what are they doing. Remember, I said in my slide that anybody that I said in my slide that I saw security. I went to study what other people were doing, and I saw that people were making money in security. So that helped me. I followed it, and that's where copy until you become. How does one start when having nothing? You cannot have nothing. You have data. You have this. Now, if you say you have nothing, let me give you another classical. You see this Tade Cash. Make sure you meet him. Now, Tade has different assets. You can broker a deal for Tade. Broker a deal. Somebody wants to buy land, somebody wants to buy a house, and you make commission. And I'm sure his commission will be more than the money you can get from any bank. Trust me, that money you can now invest it so you have two sources of income immediately. Buy one, get another free. That's how you multiply money. Somebody's asking me, so what platform can I invest to the maximum profit at the fresh? You can see the link on this place. It's called www.minidealsinvestment. That is a platform you can be wise enough to invest, even if it's just 50K. That 50K, you go to an ASU joint, you will kill it. You go to a shop, you buy jeans and trousers. But if you say, okay, forget that 50K and watch what happens to you. When you enjoy the money from there, you will always come back and invest more. The proof is in the trial. Once you try it and it works, you grow. I'm not different from you. I look for where to invest. I make money. I eat the result of the investment. I am not different. I came out with the third class, extra year. And honestly, what I'm going to do is that anybody that considers this investment, you see the slides I did, I will give it to you. I will give the slides to you. And it is Tade that will make those slides available. So if you want the slides, communicate with Tade. Tade will make it happen.
Easy.
Any other question?
For now, no question. We will get all of those things across. It's been awesome. I know it's been so awesome. Like you said, people can go to the link. They can go to the minidealinvestment.com, and then you can start immediately. What you don't, the money you don't invest, you will spend. That is very important. Mr. Ubong, we are so blessed to have you. This generation is blessed to have you too. Thank you so much. I mean, it's so mind-blowing.
Maxwell, sorry, let me drop this.
Yeah.
Maxwell, I see Maxwell is asking me, the 50, is it monthly or one-off? It's depending on you. It's one-off. With one-off, you go. The more you invest, the more you can get. Simple. You hear?
That's fantastic.
Tade must tell you. You should hold Tade's neck. Tade tells you. Yes. Yeah. Yeah. Now,
That's
what is
very
the guarantee? All investments are insured. It does get to Tade,
awesome.
and all investments are insured. You can get your money. Okay, guys, thank you.
Thank you very
Those who
much.
want the slides, Tade will give it to you.
Thank you very much. We are so blessed.
Thank you.
Thank you. Thank you. Thank you. Thank you.
Welcome to Atlantica Apartments. Opposite a core tourist and resort center. It is an apartment for the rich and those that want to be rich. Do you know you can buy the future if you know where to shop? Do you know that Dangote refinery will be opened by December with about 70,000 workers and 2,000 engineers? Atlantica Apartments is at the heart of it all, just directly beside the zone. It is a 2-bedroom apartment with infrastructure. When you buy Atlantica Apartments, you have bought the future.